Hi Gemini, this is your guys' 2019 year in advance reading, okay? Now, before we start, if you are a Gemini rising ascendant, a Gemini moon, you guys will probably also want to read these or watch these videos, okay? If you don't know for sure what you are, you can go ahead and I will have some listing pretty soon on the website, but you can message me or email me to find out what it is. If you're new to my videos, I shuffle with both hands before the video starts recording, and then I cut in front of you, so that way you know that it's not like set up. So let's find, where should we cut? Okay, like in the middle of that section, right there. All right, so we've cut the deck, and I am going to pull out 12 cards from the top of the deck. Okay, I'm going to section them out as we read them into trimesters. So we'll have 4 on the top, 4 in the middle, and 4 on the bottom. They'll be the first 4 months of the year, the second 4 months of the year, and the third 4 months of the year. Okay, your trimesters. Now, because this reading is for all Gemini, it's going to be kind of vague. It's not going to be 100% exact to your situation at all times, okay? You should have a lot of stuff that makes sense, but it's not going to be 100%, all right? If you do want your own reading, I'll let you know how you can go about doing that at the end of the video, all right? So here we have January, February, March, and April. Okie dokie. We're going to do May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, so Gemini, here is your 2019 year. Okay. What I'm going to do is I kind of read it as a story. We're going to go through and read it. I'll probably pull your cards over here so that way I can get close-ups and zoom in on them for you. So let's go ahead and start. January 2019. What's in store for you, Gemini? Okay. Purification is the key word that we've got here. Now take a look at the images on this card, okay? We have a ton of rain. We've got what looks like really gloomy weather, but take a look over here. This tree seems dead over here. There's no leaves growing. There's nothing there, right? While you're in the winter sections of the month, there's nothing growing. Okay? So, while what you're coming out of, what you're dealing with at the moment, and what you're coming out of is a time where you really weren't growing. You were planning, you were ideating, you were setting up goals, you were that sort of stuff, right? Now, in January, depending on your opinion of what rain is, you're going to have some rainy time. It's going to be gloomy. It's going to be kind of sad, probably, for most of you. It's going to be a bit depressing. But I want you to take a look at this. So here we have all of the dark, it looks dead, right? These mountains here, nothing really looks like it's growing. But as we go into the future, going in this direction, we start seeing leaves and we start seeing little plants growing. So you have to purify. You have to cleanse and get rid of stuff that's not going to be good for you. That's not going to give you the room to allow things to grow in order to start growing, Gemini. Okay? It's really, really, really important. You can't really bring in new stuff and enjoy the new stuff if you are so cluttered already. Right? Okay. So that's your January. February. Compassion. Okay, so while you're in a state of purification, while you're in a state of getting rid of stuff and being kind of gloomy as new things are growing, you need to be compassionate to yourself. But you also need to be compassionate to everybody around you, which is probably something you're already doing. You're already always compassionate with people around you. You're just not compassionate to yourself. It's extremely important in February, the month of love and friendship, that you are also loving yourself and being your own friend. Okay? There's a saying, be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see for yourself also. All right? You're going to start showing people how to treat you. And I don't know why this came up. It might be spirits that are kind of chatting along about it. But you're feeling like you're not being treated the proper way. In February, you're going to be showing people how to treat you. And it's extremely important for you to understand this. You teach others how to treat you, and others teach you how to treat them. Now, and the card is telling you, you're going to treat everybody with kindness the way you want to be treated, the golden rule, but you're also showing people how to treat you. Okay? All right. March. For March, we have creation. Okay, so in January, we were purifying everything. We were going to start to get stuff to grow, right? Remember? And then in February, we had compassion. You were loving yourself. Clearing out the stuff that you no longer want and then giving love to all of the stuff that you do want and to yourself is allowing you to create. It has opened up all of this room for you to do whatever it is that you want to be doing. Okay? So this dude here standing in almost tree pose is creating this whole new world, right? And nobody around him has told him he can't do it. And nobody around him is questioning what his plans are. And nobody around him, even himself and himself included, are not doubting his ability to create. Okay? So Gemini, there's something you already have planned, or you're planning it, or it's a dream or a goal. It's something you really, really want to do. But you yourself are saying, I don't know how to do it. You yourself, you're saying, this is ridiculous. I can't ever complete this. How could I possibly complete this? Right? So January is asking you to remove those thought processes. Remove anything that's taking time and attention from you that you won't be able to create your goal, your dream. And start to prepare for that. Start to prepare for growing it. Also believe in yourself. Love your idea. Love your creation. So much so that you're able to remove the things that you're attached to. Love this idea, this thing that you want to grow so much that you're able to look at things and say, this will take my time. This will take space. This will take energy from my desire to grow this dream. I have to let it go. And it could be people. People who are telling you, that's ridiculous. How are you going to do that? People who are saying, oh, come on, you have to be smarter than that. These sorts of people are taking your energy away from you. You need to love and have compassion to them, but they also have to love and have compassion for you. And if they are not able to help you or encourage you or support you in reaching your goals, then with compassion, you can let them go. Okay? And if they complain about it, you can tell them, Maria told you they could. You could. Okay? April. Generations. Ancestors. These are the key words. So look at all of these little red and yellow bubbles or balls. They look like they should be parts of DNA to me. Take a look at the 4 hands. They're saying stop, right? And we've got this snake. Snake can also Snake has so many associations, okay? One of the associations that I was taught was that it was ancestral. It's part of like the roots of your family tree. Snakes are usually in there. They're trying to protect your family tree. So we've got this snake that is wrapping itself or slithering between all of these hands that are parts of DNA. And the key words are ancestors and generations. Okay, now, because this card comes right after this one of creating, which comes right after the compassion, which comes after purification, there are things that you are feeling your ancestors, great-great-grandparents, family members that you might not have ever known, are wanting you to do. And every time you express this, the people who are closer to you, your parents, your aunts, your uncles, cousins, children, siblings, what have you, are looking at you and scratching their head because they don't understand. This might not be part of what they need to understand. This is for you to understand. Okay? So, in April, you're going to be having more feelings of being connected to your ancestors. Probably more feelings of wanting to do Ancestry or the 23andMe or those sorts of things, trying to find your roots, trying to keep a genealogy chart, that sort of stuff. This, I am going to say, is associated with your dream. Okay? It might be a way of you finding that one of your ancestors almost had the same kind of business, almost had the same kind of dream, almost did the same sort of thing, depending on how far back it was and whether technology was in the state that it is now, right? But your ancestors are asking you to come to this point, and they're asking you to let go of everything that's not serving you, that's not helping you create, because they are waiting for you to help you to create. Okay? All right, so May. For May, we have perspective. Now, I just gave you a completely strange perspective, right? It's time to clear out stuff so that way you can grow. Be compassionate about everything that's around you, but let go of what doesn't serve you. Love yourself and love your goals, because your goals, March is going to be all about your goal, your dream, your creation, your business, whatever this thing is. And April is going to be about connecting to your ancestors because they want to help you. Now, if you didn't do the purification and you have everything, it's just staying the same, you're not going to be able to make contact well with your ancestors. They're not going to be able to help you. Your goals aren't going to be coming into place. So then in May, we have perspective. Okay? We have a tunneling effect here, right? You can be going deeper and deeper and deeper into the center, the core, your inner self, trying to understand everything that's been happening up until May, right? Or if you've been doing the work already, we have you're coming out because you already have the perspective. You already understand. You've got the plan, you've got the goals, you've got everything that you need. You know that this is divine purpose. You know that your family members, maybe not the ones that are on this earth at the moment, but the ones that love you and want to help you are with you. So now it's just to begin to put your plans into action, right? Because you've already removed everything that's blocking you. Perspective is a really awesome thing. And just because it looks like we're falling in does not mean that you haven't already done the work and you're coming back out. All right? Okay, so June. For June, we have rebirth. Isn't that amazing? We've got all of this work to do to get to where we want to be. Then we're looking at it and we're either coming out or we're going in. But if we're coming out of this new perspective, that is rebirth, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so your rebirth is going to be abundant. Like, look at this woman. She's got stuff growing all around her. Everything she touches grows. Everything she touches flourishes. And why? Because she's got vines and like berries growing in her hair. She has an egg. She's got a nest, bird's nest, full of eggs under her chin. She has butterflies on her shoulders. She's got rabbits that are hanging out with her. This looks like butterflies too in this area, along with this one, right? Owls, wisdom is always right there next to her. Here's another rabbit. Sorry about that. Here's another rabbit over here growing. Do you see this? Her rebirth is like the Midas touch. So if you've done the work throughout the first trimester of the year, and you've done the perspective, when you come back out of that perspective, it's going to be reborn, and you're going to have everything you need to start doing what you need to do to grow, to have abundance. This card is for July. Okay, so hold up. You're going to have everything you need to start having a Midas touch, right? You have everything you need to start growing everything. But in July, we've got fog and veiled. You're not going to think it's growing. You're going to have like a veil over your eyes. It's going to look like nothing is changing. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be annoyed. You're not going to be able to see which way to go. But just because we can't see which way things are happening, just because we don't have confirmation and the exact second, does not mean that it's not going to be working. Because we've got the sun here shining through the clouds. And we can see that it's coming down into probably ground level down here. We've got trees that are bursting through the clouds. We have mountains that are bursting through the clouds. The mountains are going to signify some struggles, some uphill work. So you're still going to be having some work to do in July. Most of it is going to be your perception again of what it is you're doing. All right? But just because you don't see it growing, just because you don't see it doing what you think it needs to be doing, does not mean that it's not working. Okay? And here we have August. August is innocence, but look at how abundant this image is. Can you look? There's trees, there's grass, there's probably fish in this little pond. There's berries, there is, I'm going to say these are berries, okay? There are berries, that girl is going to go fishing, so yeah, there's fish in the pond. There's some little rainstorms over on the horizon. Over here on the horizon. So you're going to have a little bit of some storms, a little bit of stressy matters. But once you get through everything that you've been through, it looks to me like August, the last part of your year, is going to start showing some real big signs of growth. Now, just because you've done all of the hard work, and just because you've done everything that you can to have this growing, and now, oh my God, it's growing, everything's wonderful, does not mean burst full blast ahead, right? It doesn't mean just keep charging. It means take some time and relax and enjoy yourself. This little boy and girl here, they stopped their chores. They stopped the things they had to do to have some time to go fishing, to go have some fun, right? August is going to be reminding you to go have some fun. Okay? So here we have September. Let's see what September's got in store for us. Grounding. All right. So everything around us besides the roots down here, and even the roots still, are abundant. There's growth here. We've got flowers growing in the meadows, in the tree, in the grass, right? Yellow and purple. We've got stuff growing on the trees. It looks even like jewels. And then we've got stuff growing in the roots. Okay? So, depending on where you live, September starts to be, it's autumn, right? We can see that the earth is changing. The earth is preparing to grow, to go to sleep. It's preparing for winter. It's preparing for when the trees let all of their leaves go and they release all of their leaves. The grass starts to hibernate. Animals hibernate, right? During this time, especially if you're still feeling you have to be going full blast ahead, it's time for you to ground and center and realize that you've done a massive amount of work this year and you are entitled to rest. You are entitled to sit back and relax and start making new plans. Okay? It doesn't mean don't do anything, because even when a tree is visibly dead to us during the winter, it's still surviving, right? So you're still going to be working, but you don't have to work as hard, as much. Okay? It's important that you ground and stabilize yourself. October. Radiance. Okay, so you have the warmth within you. You have the radiance within you. You are the radiance to Once you are grounded and you've had the chance to rest and enjoy yourself, right? To rest and enjoy yourself and you're grounded, you can keep a warm fire burning throughout winter so you can keep working. You can keep your business, your dream that we started creating in March. This can keep growing. It's not like, okay, well, there's snow all over the place, we have to hibernate. You're just not going to be rushing at the same speed. Okay? Alrighty. So let's take a look at November, sorry. Submerged and iceberg. Okay. You are holding back, right? And I've told you, relax and rest. Holding back does not always mean something bad. Holding back at times can be a very good idea. If you feel like you're running out of energy, you're going to hold back. If you feel like you're pushing too hard, you can hold back. If you feel like you're butting heads with people, you can hold back. This is all great. It's fine. It's okay. You're allowed to do this. What you're not allowed to do is just fight with people and butt heads with them just because you want to. Now, if there's honestly a huge disagreement and you've tried every diplomatic way possible, butting heads might be the only option. But the key word on this card, submerged, means you're going to be butting heads with people and possibly even your dream, possibly even yourself, possibly even your perspectives with things that you're not 100% sure on. Okay, so let's come back up to these cards for a minute. Are you butting heads with your need to be compassionate to yourself? Are you butting heads with your dream, with your creation? Are you butting heads with your perspective? Has your perspective began to change? And now you don't like it, so you're going to butt heads with it and argue with it. Was something that you thought you understood veiled, and now that you see it again, now that you're seeing more of what was submerged, you don't like it and you're butting heads with it? You need to step back for a few moments, realize and understand what it is that you're feeling so cold about, what you're feeling is being too mean and cold to you, what is harsh and uncomfortable. Why? Before you butt heads with it and try to destroy it, understand it. Because perspective can change so much. Okay? All right, so December. We have solitude as our keyword. Take a look at this island, right? For a moment, I thought those rocks might have been sheep. They look like rocks again. Let's see if I come back out if they look kind of like sheep. They do have somewhat of an animal look to them, especially this one right here. Okay, so we've got one lone tree on one lone island in the middle of a whole bunch of vast blueness. The water's blue, the sky is blue. There's really no difference between one place or the other. I mean, if we were to turn it upside down, it pretty much looks the same, right? Besides, now we've got an upside down tree. But it pretty much looks the same. If we turn it sideways, it pretty much looks the same, the surroundings of this island. So this is all alone, completely 100% all alone. Are you willing to take some time and be completely 100% all alone? So that way you have a chance to understand your perspective again. You have a chance to understand what you realize was submerged in November. You can process this. Also, if you've been trying so very hard to let go of things and to be compassionate with everybody, and you've had ancestors that have been talking with you constantly throughout the year, you're going to want to take some time to be all alone. You're going to want to take some time to just be calm and still and relax. And be calm and still and grow And I know that's like, wait, what? How can you grow when you're calm and still? Because your mind might not be calm and still. But, you know, I do want you to be doing some meditation work during this time. And also, look at this right here. Underneath this island, or off to the side of the island, can you see this? It looks kind of a little bit like partially a partial skull. We've got an eye socket right here. We have an eye socket right here. We've got like a nose. Do you see that? Where are your thoughts going in December? Are they going into some sort of argument and fight? Are you still butting heads with people? Do you still feel like everything is understandable when this, if we look at it, could be submerged under the island? What thoughts are you submerging? What thoughts are you trying to keep buried? There's lots of stuff for you to be doing in December. Just personal, private, calm stuff. And I know most of you are going to have a lot of holiday parties that you're going to be doing in November and December. Are these hampering your growth? Do you feel these are hampering your growth? Remember in January we had to start releasing things so that way you had room to grow. You're probably cycling through all the way through and you're starting to feel that same thing. You want to be alone so that way you can purify, and that's totally fine. You're totally allowed to do that, okay? All right, so Gemini, you have a year of quite a lot of work ahead of you, but nothing here says that you can't accomplish it. Nothing here says you won't accomplish it. Most of it says you're going to bust right through it if you're willing to do the work. And I know that's kind of like life's major rule, right? You can get what you want if you're as long as you're willing to do the work. So, for the first half of the year, you're going to have the first half of the year, you're going to have a lot of internal work to be doing and understanding. And then for the second half of the year, you're going to start taking this internal work and you're going to start letting other people see it. But be very, very, very careful with this, okay? Because you have the chance of becoming, I don't want to say violent, but you're going to be arguing with a lot of people if you're not careful, which is going to put you into solitude, which you're going to need. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? Don't get discouraged when you don't think that you see what's happening, because it's there. It's just not fully visible yet, okay? So, if you want to have your own personal reading, because a lot of this rang true for you, but it wasn't very specific to you, you can go ahead and email me or go to the website, bluerainorchid.com, and get your own reading. There are a couple of readings available on the website. If you liked the reading, please hit like, please hit subscribe, so that way you know when your moon and ascendant signs are available for you, so that way you know when any other videos are available. And I appreciate so much that you've given me a couple of minutes of your time, or about 30 minutes of your time for this year. Thank you so much. Bye.